Alright, here it comes. Heaviest car I have. I've got you now, Mordred. Okay, so the new Caliburn. I'm trying to hunt it down and I can't hack it, so I'm going to just ram it. Let's watch in slow motion. Well, this isn't the easiest free car to obtain. Stopping the Mordred has proved challenging. Even the Popo can't help. Look at them fly. Maybe I should help them on their way.
All units be advised. Suspect remains in the vicinity.
Uh-oh. I guess I better get back to the start. So 2.3, they've added 2 new free cars. They've added 4 new vehicles, one big chunk of a truck and a nice new Yaiba bike, which I'll put in another video if you have any issues with that. But the 2 cars I'm most interested because they are errant challengers, is that right? Whatever, to the throne of the fastest free cars in the game, which happen to be the fastest cars full stop in the game. The fastest car in the game to date is the Caliburn. It comes in 2 flavors, the purchasable flavor and the Murkmobile Caliburn, the Batmobile Easter egg one. Check out my videos on how to get that if you have any questions. For now, that is like the best car in the game, by far for none, because it's free and it's the fastest. It looks absolutely sick and it's a great Easter egg, right? These 2 are contenders to the throne, carrying the Arthurian theme because we have the Caliburn, which is one of the names for Excalibur, I believe. Or it could be the sword that he pulled from the stone, which is a different sword. There's a lot of different conflicting stories around Arthurian legends. We also have Excalibur, we have Guinevere, we also have Erendite as well, and Erendite being Lancelot's sword. So there's a whole Arthurian legend-based theme going on with Rayfield vehicles. Rayfield being an English-based company in this, and yeah, so this one is the Mordred, and Mordred, I believe, it was either Arthur's son or his nephew, I'm not sure, but either way, he tried to usurp Arthur and take Guinevere as his queen in Arthur's absence when he was off, I don't know, searching for Grail or whatever the heck he was up to.
He's a very naughty boy!
Anyway, back to the point. So, continuing that theme, we have the new Caliburn Mordred. It's an armor-plated and weaponized version of the Caliburn. You'd think with all the armor plating it's going to be slower, so it's not going to be a challenger, but we will see. And I'm going to compare the speeds of the 3 of these at the end of this video. If all you're interested to know is if it's still the fastest, then jump to the end. Otherwise, I'm going to cover a few different bits and pieces. So we have the Rayfield Caliburn Mordred, okay? And we have the Yaiba ARV-Q340 Semimaru, but we'll just call it the Yaiba Semimaru from now on, which might hands down be my new favorite vehicle just by the way it looks alone. And there's something a little special about this car, I think, yet to be discovered, or maybe someone has discovered it, I don't know, but I'm going to keep using it and see if my hunch about it rings true eventually. Is it faster than the existing Caliburn? We'll have to wait and see. I do know, but I'm not going to tell you until the end. The great thing about these new cars and why they're actually topping the list of my favorite free cars, and I'll update my 25 free cars video at some point with these, but they both have nice quests attached to them. They've not just dropped the cars in the game, made them available, they've actually got nicely built-in quests around them, which give you more lore. So I'm going to take you through each of the quests. The Mordred quest is actually deceptively challenging, but it's not as challenging as you think. There's a couple of ways you can actually get your hands on the Mordred. I'm going to show you the 2 options. Okay, firstly, for the Mordred, you're going to be contacted by Murkmobile, El Capitan. So you're going to get a text message from Murkmobile, and this is it here, which gives you the quest Freedom, which is a Robbie Williams song. And it kind of suits this. Anyway, if this text message from El Cap is not popping up, then just skip forward 24 hours and it'll appear. Freedom. So he's got wind that 2 of Rayfield's top concept engineers have recently landed in Night City from Merriald, England, and he wants us to go and get some Rayfield intel for his client. So, of course, we're going to take that job. You're going to head up to the dam. Okay, so, yeah, looks like somebody beat us to the punch here. We're not the only ones looking for this vehicle, it seems. Harry Bell and his team looks like they've been absolutely annihilated. It seems like the Sixers wanted a piece of this tech, and they're the ones that caused all the trouble here. Looks like they were trying to torture him for information. We find a message here between him and Arlene Anwil, the other engineer on the project. Harry Bell's freaked out that they're not following procedure. Arlene Anwil seems to be a bit impatient because the security specialists are still stuck in the Plex, but she wants to go ahead, and it looks like it's not ended well for Harry Bell. So anyway.
I'm starting to like this less and less.
Oh, hi Mark. So we get the location of the next spot and we're going to head there now. When we get there, however, it's mainly security guards there and we can take them out easy enough. And there is the beautiful car, just waiting to be nabbed.
Definitely going to have to do something about that Arasaka branding.
So we're going to check out the laptop here. Going to hack it. And there we go, the vehicle's updating. It's all our... Oh.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Okay, so, bye. So the vehicle's gone. Let's check the laptop and see what's going on here. So information about the delay of the security team. Yeah, we knew about that. And a bit of a history there of all the issues. There was a testing incident, so blackout with the media after that. So something must have gone horribly wrong with the car. Well, it seems like Arlene Anwil was promoted recently over James, and who was taken off this due to ethical concerns over the project. So God knows what the actual truth about what lies under the engine of this car is, or auto drive tech. But we're still none the wiser, so let's look in the files.
Of course. That'd be too simple.
Okay, so if we look here, the VIP in question is YA Yorinobu Arasaka, model Caliburn Mordred, and it's got support package Avalon. Avalon again, Arthurian.
Let's take a look, shall we?
We can find out a lot more about Yorinobu's tastes here. He comprised of premium materials only. Doesn't want it to be too conspicuous, so he didn't like the gold finish that they presented him with first, which is why we don't have a gaudy gold one.
Say what you will about Yori, he had pretty good taste, I think.
Goes into a bit of information about the client here. These guys really do like to do their research. Says about his affiliations with Arasaka and Steel Dragons. Talks a bit about his family, his proclivities and habits. There you go. I wouldn't have pegged him for being a jazz person, to be honest with you. But anyway, there you go. Here's the waypoints that it's going to be following. Grand, so we're going to know where to get it now. And here's the whitelist of authorized users. We are not on there yet. And there's a message here from Hellman and Yorinobu Arasaka where he's basically saying, this is a bit over the top, don't you think? And Yorinobu's like, nonsense. We need a new car for every occasion. Like, why not? If you got the money, I suppose. Okay. So next up, we've got to let Murmur know the bad news or good news, depending on your standpoint. Now, at this point, we have a choice where we can either choose to not go after the car, or we can go after the car. I'm not sure why you choose to not to. I've checked, and if you head to where you know it's going to be, it isn't driving around there. It only appears if you accept the mission, I think. I don't know, will it appear later on in the game like some kind of murderous car? If you don't choose to take it, I don't know. It would be quite funny if that was the case, but there's no way I'm not taking this car, so I'll never know. So yeah, once you've done hoovering up the bits and pieces in the area, go ahead and let Murmur know and tell him that you're going to go ahead and go after it anyway. At which point, El Cap is like, I don't know you anymore. Don't ever contact me again. Who are you? Wrong number. And then you go after the car. This is where things get interesting. So head over to the location on the map and you have to stop it. Now, I thought I was going to be smart and I used my Netrunner build. And I was going to, I'm just going to hack it and take control of the car. No, this isn't hackable. This has hacking defenses. It also is very armored, so you can't just pepper it with any weapons. Yeah. So the only thing I thought was we could try and block it with a heavy vehicle. So let's see how that works out. Yeah. So you can't do it. There are two ways I was able to do it. One, if you have Sandevistan, you can wait till it passes you, trigger it, and just open the door, and it'll stop immediately, and you won't have done any damage to your beautiful ride. The other one
was getting another weaponized vehicle. Take a few shots at it, and it should stop. Must be something to do with the ammunition used in weaponized vehicle, or maybe I had just collectively done enough damage at that stage.
Then the next thing you got to do is just get away from the cops. There you go.
Don't forget to buckle up. Now for the Semimaru. I gotta be honest, this car gives me a semi.
Okay, the next car, the Yaiba, is a lot easier to get. Still fun and still an awesome car, and I do have some curious thoughts about it as well, which I'll get to in a minute, because there's probably more to this car than meets the eye, but I think time is going to tell that. But this one is another interesting story-based one, which interestingly is named after a movie, Where Eagles Dare. This one comes about as a quest. Again, I waited another 24 hours to get this one. You get a text message from River Ward, and the quest is called Motor Breath. You can have a chat with him anyway, and basically it's got some history that's been bothering River and hints towards the actual story of this car. So he tells you where it's last reported, and you just have to go and get it. This one's a lot more straightforward than the Caliburn quest, but it definitely has something interesting about it, which you'll see in a minute.
There is a prerequisite to this one. You have to have finished Claire's questline and River's questline. So that's the Beast in Me and the Hunt, respectively. With regards to the one with Murmar for the Caliburn, I don't know if there is, but he does talk to you as if it's not the first time he's spoken to you, so I would imagine you have to have a bit of connection with him first, but it doesn't explicitly say, and I haven't tested it at a lower level yet.
So take your most chunky vehicle out there, or a weaponized vehicle, or just shoot out of the window. This one's fairly straightforward. Find the car and attack it, and take out Jax Foxgrave and his partner in crime, Nova McCaster.
The TLDR of this particular one is that there's a street racer who had to ghost, get out of town. Anyway, her name was Mint. 2 cops took the car and took on Mint's persona, doing jobs and making money, pretending to be Mint. Then from lockup, it was stolen by 2 street racers, and one of the street racers started hearing voices, went cyber psycho, and basically was going really fast, and that's kind of when you caught up with them. But what's interesting is what happened before the person went cyber psycho, and that's why I think this car might be more than meets the eye. I'm thinking there's an AI involved here in this vehicle. We're going to find out more the more we drive it. You get a data log, tells you a bit of the history of the vehicle. So there was a crystal coat mod fitted to this, but it still hasn't been fully installed. So it's got quite a checkered history. There's also a conversation here between Jones and Ortiz, and we find out what actually went on from the NCPD side. It seems like once they took the vehicle from Mint, they posed as Mint and accepted hits on the city scumbags. So basically taking care of the trash in Night City without due process. A bit like Murkman, really. Now, because it spoils the content of the graphic novel Kickdown, I'm not going to go into any real details about Mint. Just between her and Tiff, they spent 2 years rebuilding this sports coupe. And it appears that a lot of the entries in the data log might coincide with events of the graphic novel.
So anyway, you can choose to tell River 1 or 2 things. I don't know if there's any real significance to what you choose to tell River, but I figured he'd like to know about the corruption that was going on. But there we go. So the car is ours. We're not quite done with it yet, though. You can't use the crystal coat on it. Not just because it's banged up to hell after me trying to get it, but because it's not been fully initiated. So you'll see the little quest icon above crystal coat. Once we try and activate it, we have to contact Claire and get that sorted out. Straightforward enough. You just head over to another spot, take out the hostiles, find out a little bit more about Mint. We hack the computer, we grab the file.
Head over to what's left of the car.
We upload the crystal coat data.
Yeah, and then test your crystal coat. At least you could if you hadn't messed the car up. And I suppose now's as good a time as any to repair your car in Cyberpunk. You just have to destroy it. Wait 5 in-game minutes, real-time minutes actually, and it'll come back good as new.
So, the question of speed. Well, it seems like all 3 of them are tied. They all hit 209 and blink at 210 if you get the right angle of road, but that's about it. They're all free and they're all super fast and they're all gorgeously designed. I mean, they're really nice. Look at that. That's just so nice. I just absolutely love it. So once crystal coat's sorted out on that one, you can make it look however you want, and there you go.
And as for the True King,
yes, it still holds the top as the fastest car, but it shares it now with 2 other vehicles. The algorithm thinks you'd find this video useful or fun, I don't know. I'm out.